And he goes jumping in. Amazing round. Great hatching from Taz.
He flashes in and casts the ultimate. Winner, 20 health left. Oh, no, single flash. The shield clutch.
Oh, a blink into all those units. The amazing defense champion of the Intel Extreme Masters.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here live in Kiev for the Intel Extreme Masters. Obviously, Xenon, you've just seen a pretty epic game between Cypher and AA, and really it sets up what's going to be pretty much an awesome group. I mean, the next game coming up is Dignitas versus Moscow 5. You know, we actually talked about this game probably 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
When we figured out where we were going, it's like, well, who's going to be doing Dignitas versus M5?
Yeah, I was tweeting as well. I don't know who casts what, but I'm
doing
casting this game.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really set up to a big game. And we tried to talk about it yesterday. You know, M5 have been built up to this behemoth of an expectation that, you know, that this is actually their first event. Or the first event we've seen them at.
To an offline event before, and there's nerves and everything. And I'll just remind you of a little parallel there, because once upon a time there was a little team on a North American server called Rock Solid.
Yeah,
and
indeed.
they got hyped and hyped and hyped, and then they kind of did really well, and then they kind of crashed and burned at the tournament, but they still have fans, and they're now called Dignitas.
Yeah, indeed. And then obviously Dignitas, they went to IPL and won.
Yeah, they actually
IPL,
did really well.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. Just making sure.
And Demon is asking somebody off frame, of course, and it's because we have Voyboy standing by for an interview in just a moment here. So, yeah, you're going to do that interview with him. I'm just so excited for this game.
We will do. I mean, let's just quickly talk about the game now. I mean, obviously, Dignitas coming into this one, you know, didn't have the best of experiences at New York, but of course they've just been and win CLG Last Stand, and you know Hotshot GG has basically said, you know, actually these are probably the strongest North American team currently.
Really?
And if he's been saying that, yeah, that's his interview over on one of the websites. You know, if he's been saying that, then there's a lot of faith in them.
Nice. I heard they haven't been able to practice as much as they would have wanted to. But here's another thing I'd like to point out. I mean, M5, why is everybody so scared of them? Because they do these strange things. And if there's a single team in the entire league that can probably deal with those curveballs, it's these guys, because, you know, they did it first. They know how to deal with strange strategies. And, you know, if you can think up these weird strategies, you know the thinking behind them, and you can probably counter them. Well, Maokai support. Oh, that means we need to do this. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't know if we're going to see Maokai support, but nice.
Yeah, we know what you're saying. I mean, obviously, there's the famous moment, the Empire versus they're knocking SK out actually to qualify for this event, which was the new Ash Karthus sort of ultimate all at one. Which I kind of screamed over.
If you have not seen, I just tweeted the link to your YouTube video of that.
Yeah.
Just do go and watch that. It's brilliant. Ocelot coming down for a gank in bot lane, and Gozu Pepper completely caught out of position in the enemy brush in bot lane. And then you're like, you know what? We're going to turn it into a triple kill.
Yeah, and then obviously pops the Nunu ulti in the bush, so they didn't see it, and then the Karthus ulti followed in. The volley comes straight out from Ash. It was awesome. Now, and we're obviously hoping we can recreate some of that moment. So without further ado, I think we're going to get Voyboy to jump in here, because you guys obviously want to see the game. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few moments. We'll have Voyboy sat right here.
And he goes jumping in. Amazing round. Great hatching from Taz.
He flashes in and casts the ultimate. Winner, 20 health left. Oh, no, single flash. The shield clutch.
Oh, a blink into all those units. The amazing defense champion of the Intel Extreme Masters.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If by magic, I would say the hair's got shorter, but he's still kind of hairy. It is Voyboy. Now, Voyboy, this is obviously your first time in Ukraine, in Kiev.
Yeah,
certainly, what do you think of it? I mean, you've had a bit of a daunting welcome with the snow this morning.
Yeah, it's really cold. There's snow everywhere. It's like just fields of whiteness, but otherwise, really nice city. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, and what do you think of the event? I mean, you've been preparing for probably about an hour or two now. You've been here. You've managed to get and sit and watch Cypher.
Yeah, really nice game.
Yeah, against all authority, sat right behind you. I guess you've had a pretty good view of it all.
Yeah, I was sitting right behind, just watching their team, trying to see what they're running, what team comps they're trying to figure out, and it was really fun to watch.
Yeah, and obviously, when I was watching earlier, I interviewed I Will Dominate earlier on.
Yeah.
You guys can check that out. It's on the ESL TV YouTube. He was saying, you know, about while I was doing it, you and Scara were strats, permanently top line strats.
Yeah, we were 1v1ing. We did some 1v1s top and mid, and we were just working out some kinks. So we did pretty good practice there.
So do you feel that working out those kinks, you think you've got things figured out? I mean, you're looking at, say, probably AAA. I keep calling them AAA. It's against all authority. Sorry about that. And they play a lot of Riven. You got Soaz up top, who's he's been around tournaments for a long time.
Yeah.
He's good at Riven, good at Aurelia. You've got Moscow 5 that will play different things. Hell, you've got Cypher in there that'll play NASA's top.
Yeah, I think we're ready for it. We prepared. We know what teams usually run, and I think we'll do pretty well.
Are we going to be seeing a lot of Renekton out there?
You might see a little bit of Renekton. We'll see. It depends how the picks go.
It depends how the picks go. Now, you guys are kind of known for, Akali, Talon, etc. Are we going to see them sort of heroes, or do you feel the meta's changed enough that you don't need to do them, or
See?
we're just going to see?
You're
You're
gonna see.
really
We're
not
about
going
to
to
do
give
picks,
anything
so.
away, yeah. Okay, well, you've come into the gaming hall this morning. What do you think of the cyber arena in general? I mean, obviously you've got the Russian commentary going out there, so
Yeah.
there's nothing's going to get spoiled unless you've suddenly learned Russian. Moscow 5 may well learn something, but at
Yeah.
the moment it's obviously CS going on in the mainstream. What do you guys think of the area? You're set up.
Yeah.
You're happy with the computers?
The land is really nice. It's like super well set up, and there's not like there's going to be screens between the teams, so there's no problem with that. And it's great. Yeah.
Good. You can't really hear each other.
No.
The team sat behind you.
Yeah, it's like
'Cause obviously
Baron.
you're going to be playing
Yeah.
obviously AAA later on. I keep saying AAA. That's your fault
Against all
for putting it in
authority.
my head. Yeah, we were told don't say AAA. It's been put in my head. But anything you want to say out to your friends, your sponsors, your family that maybe be watching at home?
No, not really. I love you guys. Watch the game. It'll be good.
Much love to OD.
Yeah. Thanks, Odie.
Thanks, OD.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, fans.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is actually a Dignitas shirt. It's a select Dignitas shirt, not the team. So it doesn't, it looks a pretty biased shirt right here, I know, but I just happened to put it on, and then I walked into the venue and went, probably wasn't the wisest idea this morning. But nevertheless, we're looking forward to seeing a fantastic game. What do you've seen M5, obviously they've been scrimming a lot.
Yeah.
What are you expecting to get from them?
I think it'll be a really good game. I'm not sure who'll win, but we're definitely going to try our best and see what happens.
Okay. He's really not going to give anything away, is he, ladies and gentlemen? So without further ado, we're just going to have a quick commercial break. Daniel will hop straight back in there. Voiboy's going to run off to the gaming area, and we'll be ready to go. So don't go anywhere, guys. We're back in just a few.
And he goes jumping in. Amazing round. Great hat-trick from Taz.
He flashes in and casts the ultimate. Lina, 20 health left. Oh, no, super flash. The shield clutch.
Oh, a blink into all those units. An amazing defense. Champion of the Intel Extreme Masters. The Intel Extreme Masters is jumping in. Amazing round. Great hat-trick from Taz.
He flashes in and casts the ultimate. Lina, 20 health left. Oh, no, super flash. The shield clutch.
Oh, a blink into all those units. An amazing defense. Champion of the Intel Extreme Masters.
And welcome back. I'm sorry.
We
that I
are
cut you
welcome
off.
back. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
That was a very secretive little interview there that Voiboy.
He wasn't giving anything away, was he?
But I spoke to Skara yesterday and I was like, so Skara, you have
Yeah.
any special tactics prepared? Like, one, and we're gonna use it against M5. Like,
Well,
okay,
okay.
I'm happy with that. I can live with that. Let's see. Just me missing in the game because I'm a noob and I'm not good at joining games. Hold on. Alex, ich open the game. We should probably not pronounce it German, but that's fine. All right. Dual Xenon spectating.
It's a double Xenon.
Yep, that's pretty good.
I call it Xenon and Xenon.
I don't. Well, it should be Xenon. It should be Xenon actually.
Xenon. Yeah.
Proper. And we're right in the game.
Excellent.
That was quick. I'm sorry. Yes, I was going to give a quick shout out to the German community. Schönen Tag, schönen Gruß an die Community und ja, viel Spaß noch. They asked for it specifically in the forums.
I'll give a shout out to the English community.
Do that, please.
All right.
Well done. Ramos banned already. While we've been talking here, M5 don't want to have that strong ganker. And there is the Carthus ban. Alex playing a very, very strong Carthus. I think he was the Carthus on your clip, actually, wasn't he?
Yeah. That's obviously the targeted that tactic we just talked about. You know, they want to take Carthus straight out of there, so it's kind of expected. Shaco being banned out. We did actually just see Shaco in the last game, so interesting that one's been targeted. So whether Dignitas had something planned up their sleeve with that one. When I was watching them practicing earlier, I don't believe I actually saw any Shacos played. So
we saw Lee Sin actually. We saw I will dominate warm up on a Lee Sin.
Well, the thing is, we talk about Moscow 5 obviously trying these strange tactics, but that's what Dignitas were known for.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, while we might be looking at something out of the ordinary for Moscow 5, we've got to keep our eye out for Dignitas. And of course, you know, it used to be Talon, Akali, combo were deadly, because once they get on someone, they're gonna die. They're gonna pop them. They got fast gap changes.
There's the Kassadin ban.
Yeah, and this is a pretty regular occurrence. We saw Ocelot allowed it yesterday twice, and he went 13-1-10 and 8-0-6 or something crazy
ridiculous.
like that. So it's kind of obviously had to be taken out there. The same as Skarner. Skarner's been one of the top junglers, obviously Lee Sin up there as well, but Ramos has been a very strong jungler as well, and again he was banned out. So really targeting the junglers. Cassiopeia being taken out, and Alex immediately locking in Ryze there, so it's going to be Ryze probably in the mid, which is an interesting call, because a lot of people don't actually go for the AP to start with. They like to leave it to the end. It can get countered.
Right, but it's hard to counter Ryze.
It is hard to counter,
what you do, because he is this sustainy damage. He's not like this sudden burst. He gets in your face and he does damage. He's actually a good counter to Kassadin, I heard as well from the teams. And Skara is kind of known for his Ryze. Like his Ryze and Katarina were the two champions that he made a big man.
And this is
Morgana is open.
Well, the thing is, I mean, Kennen is very big in the US scene at the moment. A lot of people, certainly the American players, consider him to be completely overpowered.
Yeah.
In fact, I recall seeing Dyrus had a vlog about it, basically saying that really, you know, he is the strongest in the game. There's not really many counters to him. Yeah. And immediately, Dignitas obviously going straight for it. Lee Sin as well. So we're going to get to see I Will Dominate on Lee Sin. He's pretty well known for it. But here we go. We're going to get Nunu support with Cogmore down the bottom. And Cogmore, interestingly, is what a lot of people have said, you know, actually he needs an entire team built around him. Well, we may well get that. Certainly with the support of Nunu is going to help. And we've seen Gosu Pepper and Nunu. It's fantastic.
I think we may need to remake this game, because somebody just logged into my account, locked me out, or I'll have to cast it off your screen.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Yeah, but let's talk about the picks that are going on a little bit
Anyway,
more.
Graves has been now being picked up, so we'll see what happens with that one. It's intrigued how they managed to get your password. I guess it's one of the spectators probably picked the wrong one.
Guys,
yeah. Whoops.
Yep.
You do have a name next to your login, but I'm just saying.
Yes.
So I Will Dominate at the moment is, well, he's going to be on Lee Sin, we know it. It's going to be the Graves Taric combo down the bottom.
It's something.
What the heck just happened?
I don't know. All right,
I think someone upstairs just dropped something very heavy.
Yep. If we can maybe talk to referees and quickly restart the game, I would really like to have my spectator slot. There is the Shyvana pickup that we've been expecting from Moscow 5 as well. They really like to run the Shyvana jungle and just be completely in your face and bullies there. We have the Graves Taric lane again, and AAA first picked it last game. It is a lane that can very strongly shut you down.
But this is an interesting build from Moscow 5. They're going very much alternate champions all the way through, which is kind of what we expected from them. You know, they're not sticking to the normal. You know, in games at the moment, we're seeing probably around about a pool of 20 summoners or characters or whatever you want to call them being picked. Or champions, I guess, is probably the best word we could use. And they've gone with the Norm Aurelia now.
That's a very normal pick, but it just fits in so well with the rest of the team. And everybody except for Cogmore is going to be super tanky on this team. I mean, even Ryze just builds tank items that happen to give him mana. and that's exactly what you want. So that's going to be a super tanky team that'll just keep the Kog'Maw safe, and with a Blood Boil on him, Kog'Maw is going to do so much damage.
Okay, so at the moment we're just waiting for the final pick from Dignitas. And will it be the Renekton up top there? I don't think so. I mean, is it going to be Kennen in mid?
Irelia,
is it going to be Kennen up top?
Oh yeah, that's another question. I mean, Kennen can actually lane against Karthus. Sorry, not Karthus. What do we have? Rice.
Irelia or Rice?
Rice, yeah, because he has that range. He can stay. He can kind of stay safe. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. There is
so we have effectively a double AP run from Dignitas, which is very much falling into what we had last night. I believe we had a double AP, and it was the very first one, but it was quite late in the day. You know, a lot of people do favour the bruisers up top, but Kennen certainly can counter anything they can throw at him.
Yep, and we're going to do a very quick remake because I'd really like to be in this game. I'd like to see what's going on here. But we have the lineups, and we have one of the standard picks actually from M5. We are going to see Gozu Peppers. Oh, actually, we're going to remake completely. All right, we are going to see Gozu Peppers' infamous Nunu support. He's a bully. He's up in the enemy's faces. We're not going to see anything that out of the ordinary from Dignitas, certainly, but I'm quite confident we're going to see a very, very strong game from them. I just spoke to Voyboy before this a little bit. He said he normally runs, he does run the only top lane now, so I think it's probably going to be, was it the Swain that we said it's going to be top lane?
There was Swain and Kennen, so whether it's going to be who they're going to have against each other, and really it's who fits better. You'd have thought Swain probably in the mid, because he's going to kind of need the blue buff.
Yes, he is going to need the blue buff. What side are they going to be on, though? Are they going to be purple, or are they going to be...
Well, they're purple, because they're right side, so yeah,
yes,
they're
going to be purple. So it would definitely make more sense to have him mid. The question is that enough of a concern to actually put him in possibly the worst lane? And now Lee Sin, like I said, I Will Dominate has been warming up on that. I saw him play that. Definitely a strong jungle, and unlike the Shyvana, he has the CC. Shyvana jungle is just going to be pure damage, but it's so much damage that people underestimate how strong that can be.
And it's the first major tournament that we've actually seen Shyvana in the jungle, so it's going to be good to see how he's going to interact, certainly with the bottom lane of Kog'Maw and Nunu. So really, it's going to be following up the Ice Blast. And there's not a lot else to keep them there, whereas opposed to, obviously, Lee Sin can pop out. You could have Taric stun straight away. Lee Sin pops straight in there, and obviously Graves is going to be on the high time.
Exactly, yes.
It's a definite different pick from both teams, which we expected. Honestly, this is what we want to see. We don't want to see the same errors. There's 90 champions in the game at the moment. 91 very soon. 92 obviously probably next week. You know, you guys keep bringing them out, and it actually keeps the players on their toes and keeps them.
It keeps the game interesting and fresh as well.
Well, and it changes the meta. Obviously, the game is completely different from what it was, say, Season 1. Even in New York, the game has changed and moved on a lot, which is good. Not so great for us casters, because
we have to do our homework.
Well, and especially when we come to an event and they go, okay, what client we on? What client we on? Which tournament client is this going to be? It keeps us on our toes, that's for sure. And we have to, just to keep everyone aware, it is the Victor hot patch we are currently on. So not the very current one you're playing right now, which I think patched on Tuesday or Wednesday. Yep. It is obviously the one before that. So
let's just talk very, very quickly about the junglers that they left open, because Maokai was not banned, was he? He was just completely open.
Yeah, no, it was open. Yeah, there was the only ban they went for was obviously Rammus in the jungle.
And I think there was a
Skarner, yeah.
Yeah. So Moscow 5 were just like, Shyvana is our style. We want to have that bully from the jungle, so we're just going to play it that way. And to be fair, with the Ice Blast on, that is a lot of CC there in bot lane already. They're not going to need that much CC from the jungler for the ganks to be successful. So I am super excited to see how this is going to play out. This is the game that we all really want to see.
It is, and the question is, how will Dignitas do against Moscow 5? And what sort of Dignitas will turn up? Will it be the Dignitas that went and stomped through IPL, or just one last call? Or will it be the Dignitas we saw at New York that just flopped completely and caught a lot of people by surprise? I mean, you know, I didn't catch Fnatic by surprise because they went, I don't know what the problem with this group is. We just walked through it 3-0.
We walked through the tournament 10-0, actually.
Yeah.
And I like that from Alex Ish. He is actually running the Triumphant Rise. That's a skin you can only get by winning a priced event. So yeah, it's obviously free on the Tournament Realm client, but I'm pretty sure he's won enough priced events to actually get that skin as well.
And it really is the Bruce Lee sin. I don't care what you call it, it's mainly Bruce Lee sin.
I didn't say anything on the official record.
Right, okay, let's get underway. Anyway, so what are we expecting to see from these guys? Well, a lot of ganks, possibly from both teams down the bottom. I'm not too sure how it's going to work out. I mean, we've seen, obviously, Nunu in the last game actually was on the losing side. Nunu support down the bottom, but Cypher went run a pretty interesting strat. But let's give you a quick rundown just before, in case you missed the picks and bans, or you've only just tuned in. For Moscow 5, they are going to be playing in the blue down the bottom corner, and it will be Alex Ich on Rise. He's going to be in the mid by the looks of it, and actually nobody's setting up really for a gank either. I'm just watching where Alex is going. Up down the bottom, it's going to be Gosu, Pepper, and Genja. That's going to be on. Yes, eyes don't deceive you. That is Cogmore, who doesn't really get paid anymore. Played, even is the word I'm after, and he's going to be with Nunu as support. And in the jungle, it will be Shyvana. So it's something I don't believe I've seen in a proper tournament match. May have been the American qualifiers, I don't know. Certainly not the European qualifiers. I didn't see it in any games there, and I've not seen him at any tournaments since then. And Darian's going to be at the top on Aurelia. For Dignitas, it will be I will dominate, the new man on Lee Sin in the jungle. Scarra's going to be looking like he's going to be in the mid, the way he's setting up at the moment, which is where we assume he'd be, so which means Voyboy is going to be the man on top on Kennen, and that is going to leave, obviously, of course. Why has he named himself? I'm a cutie pie has named himself Pocust X Cutie or something like that.
That's very cute.
Locust. He did say my name doesn't fit, so I'm guessing that's why his name didn't fit, because he's put that many X's in the damn name. It didn't fit. And I actually told them to, this. Have you not been briefed on your Dignitas tag? It should be D and the name, as in Diapollo, who is obviously bringing us the StarCraft at the moment. So here we are, we've gone underway, and immediately looking like I Will Dominate is going to start over on the Wraith. And absolutely no jungle invades.
Let me just point something out about the Dominate here. He's starting his Lee Sin with a Doran's Blade. That is, I don't think that's the normal way to start Lee Sin jungle, but he is known for that, and that means his level 2 ganks are going to hurt that much more. That's just, it's a very, very strong start, but he's kind of going to have to...
Mid at the moment. You can see that Locust has come out. He's managed to get the stun down. Alex Ich, I mean, the Never Move is going to go off. I'm not too sure if they got the damage to finish him off. They haven't. That's certainly going to make him think. And that's obviously put Locust on the move immediately down the bottom. They're going to react because they realise that I'm a Cutie Pie is on his own on Graves, and they're just punishing him. They're forcing him away from that bush, actually zoning him out a little bit, which means obviously Genja on... Cogmore will probably level up to 2 first, but I don't think it's going to hurt them too much. He's still managing to get the CS in there.
Yes, absolutely. That was almost a roaming Taric. It was at least Taric trying to go for a level 1 gank, and I like that a lot. I mean, if you have a support with a reliable stun like that, why not try to use it at level 1 to get an early advantage? And it did get an advantage in that. Well, Alex Ich has he gone home already? Yeah, he must have gone home because he's full health already again. Bot lane Genja doing good damage here against Cutie Pie. Actually got him into an E, and Gosu Pepper landed his snowball as well. That's a lot of slow going down there in that bottom lane. And Cutie Pie is at half health.
So Shyvana's just about completing his path. Actually looking like he might try and go for a roaming gank onto Swain in the mid. So Scarra's going to have diamonds up behind him any second. Will he go straight for him? Didn't get the prison down. Has got the prison this time. Here comes Shyvana. Will try and pop the Never Move. Very nicely done. Will he ignite? Gets him. Yes, it will. And Diamonds manages to pick up the kill there. So first blood goes to Moscow 5. And after they're attempting to gank themselves, I was a little bit surprised they didn't actually quite wait for Lee Sin to come round, because he was on the Wraith just as they went for that gank in the middle. I guess it was a matter of timing with Taric there, but that has backfired. Meanwhile, now Shyvana's immediately gone straight up top. Doesn't have Ignite this time. There goes Darian onto Voyboy. Voyboy's got to surely be aware that Diamonds is around. Yes, he backs straight away from that one. And that will be a farming session for Darian down there on the tower. Whether he's going to be able to get all the last hits on, he'd missed a couple there already, I've seen. So Kennen actually keeping the pressure on top there.
But it was great play there from Darian going in against the strong minion wave, trying to bait that E out of the cannon so he wouldn't have the E anymore for the escape. And he kind of did it too. But Kennen saw Shyvana come up in the middle of his E, so he just turned around mid-E and said, you know what, I'm going to use the rest of the duration to just get away from you. Beautifully played there from Moscow 5. And I don't believe what I'm seeing, but I Will Dominate is going for a level 4 dragon.
Level 4 Dragon Graves is coming up to help out. Tarix is coming as well, so this is going to be a very early Dragon.
What?
4.5 minutes into this one. They will get it because, you know, Moscow 5 have not reacted to this. They're not expecting it, and the lane actually had just backed away as well. So this is going to work out very nicely. It's going to put the gold advantage, which this early on is quite a big advantage when you pick up that, and it was just a 3-man pull on Dragon. They're going to have, of course, timings down on that. Moscow 5, absolutely no idea that that has just happened, so their timings are going to be completely out, which actually may mean they're going to miss the second Dragon as well. So they're going to have to really keep their eye on that one, get it warded up. Meanwhile, Kennen has also forced Aurelia back up top there, so Kennen's continuing to farm, so Voidboy doing a grand job. Let's have a quick look down the CS, 28 CS to 15, so already pulling 10 ahead. Obviously, that's the advantage of being away. Aurelia's also pushed on towards that tower, which means Darian's going to struggle to try and pick up some of the CS here. He's going to try his best, which is going to burn a couple of abilities, and he did actually manage to farm up most of that. Having a look, there you go, the ping's just going down Moscow 5. Moscow 5 actually were going for an early one, and you can see Diamonds was there ready and gone, oh, it's not there. What the heck? So now their timings, and now they've put a ward down. Actually, that ward's going to miss it because they've just put that on 5.5 minutes, so they're just not going to be able to pick that one up. So they've no idea what's happening at the moment.
Honestly, you don't expect a 4-minute 30-second Dragon.
No.
He just built 2 Dawn's Blades and was like, you know what, I can tank this. I know exactly how much damage Dragon's going to do. This was super, super risky. If somebody had come and sneezed at least in, he would have dropped dead. But, you know, they knew exactly how much damage you could take, and they just knew that Moscow 5 wouldn't check because nobody expects a 4-minute 30-second Dragon.
But it was the very good timing, the fact they knew the bottom lane had both gone back, so it was like, okay, you know, Lee Sin, you're in the area, let's go for it now. Oh, Shyvana's going to meet Aurelia at the moment, up in the top there, and they are making their way down. Skara looking very dead here on the turret. He's never going to be able to escape from that one, so that's kind of making up, saying, you know what, you're going to steal our Dragon, we're going to gank Swain again. So Swain, the second death already. And I Will Dominate's coming in to support that. They need to be careful at the top. You can see Darian is working his way back up there. Yeah. Shyvana is actually going to stay around. Looking back down the bottom, we can see the bit of harassment going on towards Locust there. But Genja takes a tower hit for his problems. But
let me point this out. 45 on Kog'Maw versus 33 on Graves. That's quite an advantage. He's early in the game, and that is even though Graves has the healing support, which Genja doesn't have, because Pepper is playing so aggressive. Look at this. Any chance he gets, he just puts down a nice blast.
Well, a lot of that came from when Tarek went for the early gank early on. They immediately knew, and they could force the pressure onto him, which obviously made Army Cutie Pie had to back away from that one. So I Will Dominate's just had a little bit of CS in the middle. Skara is going to, I would assume, fall behind in the CS. Let's have a quick look down to him. 32 to 38. That's not too bad considering he's been killed twice, but obviously one of those kills did go to Rise, which is immediately going to count against you. Shyvana coming back around again.
Look at that diamond procs. Is he ever in his own jungle? I don't even think he believes in doing his own jungle. He's been counter jungling the whole time, either ganking or counter jungling. And look at how quick Shyvana clears that Wraith camp. That's just great. Lee Sin trying for a gank bot lane, but nothing's gonna happen there. Really, nope, and there's 2 wards, so they see him as well. There's a pink going down on Voiber as well, who also walked into a ward. Perfect ward coverage here from Team Moscow 5. Shyvana did steal the enemy red, didn't she? Must have been the enemy red.
She did, yeah. She just went straight in and stole it. Voiboy was quite clever with his move, though. He pushed the lane enough to just be able to sneak down to the bottom there, but of course, like you said, that ward was in river, so they immediately spotted it. I Will Dominate's not had much luck getting out on the ganks yet, and that is really, like you say, down to the perfect ward placement they've had. I Will Dominate coming out there, trying to have a little poke on Alex, but he's not going to fall for that one. He's going to back away. Back down the bottom lane, they'd also push the lane up a little bit. I'm expecting them to probably both back. Yes, they will also going to see what they come out and buy there. So despite those 2-0 obviously kills, that early Dragon has kept the kill even. Looking at towards the top there, Voiber getting a little poke on him. Won't worry too much about that. Should pick up all the CS there. Yes, he does. Manages to take it to the tower.
Oh, mid lane though, Alex is doing good damage against Skara, even though Skara was in his army. He just went in for him. Yeah, he has enough health potions to sustain this, but that looked really good because a moment ago Skara was at full health. And yeah, you wouldn't expect it from Rise, but he just needs to build mana to be able to burst you down very quickly. And he's now going to get a blue buff donated from Shyvana, who obviously doesn't need it at all. Probably the jungler who needs blue buff least.
Yeah, indeed, and that's going to make Alex very strong in mid. He's got that tier of goddess already halfway to the catalyst, so he's going to be getting pretty strong very soon. Let's have a quick look down on the bottom as they sort of mingle with each other. And double Dorans for Genja on Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw, this is the first outing of Kog'Maw we've actually seen. Berserker Greaves and double Dorans on I'm a Cutie Pie, so we'll see if he's going to try and take advantage of the slight build advantage he has at the moment. Obviously, those Berserker Greaves have been the only difference. Meanwhile, in the mid, I think Blue's just been given across the Skara. Yes, it has. So he's going to be able to farm up easily now. He's got, really effectively, he can just pop his ulti if he needed to. He's got that blue buff. The mana will regenerate straight away. Look back down the bottom. Every time I see them get closer, it's like, oh, no, they're not going for it. Actually, when I've looked, they've not done any damage to each other. I don't understand. They're like really pressing on each other, but actually not doing a great deal of damage on the bottom. They're both pretty much transfixed on farming. We do have Shyvana coming down, but that ward placement is already there, yeah, so they're just going to back away from that one.
Yeah, Dominate coming in the river as well, but there's also a ward for Moscow 5. Both teams really perfect on their warding here. This is exactly what you need to see from a professional level team. And now is Shyvana going to have a little poke in into the enemy Lee Sin? No, he is actually going to just retreat and pick up what she left for him from his jungle. Because that counter jungling is really painful. And let me tell you...
Here we go.
Oh!
Kennan's actually just come back, so the dragon must be due.
Yes.
There is a ward there, so I'm not too sure how long that's been there. But yeah, dragon timing is
It should
definitely
be
up.
around
Kennen
11
making his way
minutes.
down bottom. He's going to try and work his way, looking like down. Yeah, they know there's a ward there, so immediately that's going to... That will have signaled the team. There you go. You see Aurelia already looking towards shifting down the bottom there. They're going to realise that Dragon must be due. Yeah, there you go. Ryze is already moving. Shyvana's moving down. And actually, Aurelia is going to stick around. Aurelia doesn't have teleport. Now she's coming down river. Here we go. We're going to move straight towards the Dragon. They're going to pull it out. I mean, they may even get it before M5 get in there. No, they're not, because Ryze sneaking up behind them. They actually hadn't come as a team for some reason. And I'm a cutie pie getting picked out there. Gossip Pepper tried to pop the ulti. Not going to happen this time. Obviously, Kennen was all over them. Diamonds is going to surely get caught out by this one as well. That's played very nicely in Dignitas' favour, mainly for the fact that Moscow 5 were not a complete team. Aurelia was a little late on reacting there. There's a couple of people still very low. Skara being one of them needs to be very, very careful. Are they interested in the Dragon? No, immediately going to pop in. Skara does get popped, but that's going to be immediately reply on Alex Hitch. And I think I Will Dominate may go down to that Ignite as well. No, he just about survives. They didn't get the Dragon though, so M5 just successfully defending it. But Dignitas... They were a little too split up. The fact that they'd already knew it was coming. Oh, Locust has just been completely caught out by Aurelia. I'm not too sure if he's going to get away from this one. Tries to stun him down. The ulti going across. He's actually bringing Voyboy into trouble. Dives onto the tower. Pops that heal. Now, if only he'd had the stun then, he could have got him on the tower, but gets away from it. Very close stuff between these two teams. And despite the fact that, you know, Moscow 5 completely missed that early Dragon. Now they have the timing down. That Dragon is still there, so I think we're going to have another fight straight back in a second. Yeah,
Kennen is he going top lane? No, he was going top lane and then changed his mind. He's like, we need to contest that Dragon. We can't just give it up to them. Aurelia still hanging around mid lane. Going to push that lane into the tower a little bit and then probably going to go back for Dragon as well. And at this moment, I really can't tell you who is the scarier team. M5 haven't really hit that point yet where they're just never going to die. And oh, Dominate is going to face check into Diamondbox right here. Diamondbox dodging the Q from Voyboy, very well done. And there is the root down on Dominate, who has to use his ulti very, very early in the fight. And that's basically an ulti wasted right there. Diamondbox is on the Dragon already, and I'm not even sure if Dignitas are going to go for this. They're just going to leave it to Moscow 5, it looks like. Nope, there they are. They're now coming in range. Skara immediately getting locked down by Ryze. He's on Ryze, though. Ryze is falling. On the other hand, I Will Dominate has been dropped. Voyboy dropping his ultimate. Oh, and barely flashing out. He may be able to survive this right now. The rest of Dignitas out pulling back through the blue buff as well. So it was a 1-for-1 exchange there. But I think the Dragon went to Moscow 5, didn't it?
It did. I'm pretty sure it did, judging by the gold as well. I'm absolutely certain. He did see Lee Sin try and get in there and try and get the smite on it. I don't think he managed it, though. I was trying to desperately to look for that 190 gold tick on between them, but there was that much going on at the same time. I didn't want to pull my attention away from actually missing kills.
And actually, Moscow 5 are ahead by 600 gold again. They were behind before that fight, so I'm pretty sure the Dragon went to them.
So we've already got Will of the Ancients on Kennen up the top there. He's got 73 CS compared to Aurelia, obviously 97. Aurelia has been up that top for a while, though. Obviously, Kennen pulled away a little bit too early, which obviously gave Aurelia another extra lane or two farm.
This is going to be a double voter build, isn't it? I mean, with
Skara.
Yeah, with Skara in the mix as well. He's definitely going to build Will of the Ancients as well. And the way that these aura items work is that they don't stack if two teammates have them. But if you and another teammate have them, then you're going to get the aura twice, basically. And that's going to be quite nice for the Spellvamp.
The big problem at the moment, though, Skara is really falling behind. He's around 15 CS behind. He's been ganked. He died 3 times now. He's 0-3-1, so he's not been able to pick up the gold too much. That's what he's going to need, but he hasn't got the blue buff at the moment, so he's going to be very sparing with that ulti, because he really can burn through the mana when you don't have blue buff. Oh, looking back down the bottom, I'm a cutie pie. I keep seeing Locust Pocus, so it is I'm a cutie pie, though, but having to back away. And at the moment, Dignitas are slowly but surely struggling in every single lane, I feel. Down the bottom is very even between the two. Genjo, of course, 104 CS to a Graves is 97, so very even between the two. Pretty much identical builds. They have got double Rigger's Lantern, though, on Moscow 5 at the moment, so possibly going for the old TSM strat or the Lone and Lion strat, as I called it before Gamescom. Oh, just getting caught out there again. There's a lot of damage going to go down towards Locust. He's going to have to back away from this one already. You're going to have to waste a lot of mana healing himself up there. Didn't obviously bother too much harass on Graves there, but Graves couldn't do a great deal about that. And he is going to have to back away already. No, I was going to say, surely not. He's only just come back. That would that would leave IEM on his own for far too long. Aurelia's going to get a nice wave of farm. Kennen is actually pulling the golems at the top there, and Shyvana looking like he's going to try and gank down bottom.
Let me just point out quickly, there's an Oracles on Shyvana, and she killed 2 wards in River already, almost contested the enemy blue there too, while all that was happening in bottom lane, but I think the blue just went to, must have gone to, no, it didn't go to Skara, so who did pick up the blue? Did she actually steal it? She must have, yeah, she must have stolen the enemy blue then there. I just saw her go in there, and then I had a look at bottom lane. So, yep, Alex Ish has the other blue. So, Shyvana, the counter jungling from Diamond Prox is just, there's no one else who counter jungles this aggressively, and he's really making it work for his team.
Really is, and at the moment you can see that Aurelia is actually going walkabout as well. She's got Shyvana with him. They're hoping to try and catch someone out in the reeds. He may well be Lee Sin. Lee Sin is just coming round behind them. I'm not too sure if he's aware. He's about to. They didn't put a ward down. If they'd have got a ward, they would have caught on him. Now Shyvana's responded. I don't think he's going to get out of that stun in time. Yeah, he actually uses his ulti to escape as well. So again, having to use that defensive ulti rather than as an aggression. So IEM dominates, really being countered quite well. And again, Gossip Pepper manages to get caught out this time. I don't think that ulti is going to surely have enough time to go off. He just managed to pop the heal. Locust getting caught out a little bit by that. I think he will escape in time. In fact, he might get a kill on Locust. Locust desperately heals himself. Ulti run him again. Just finishes him off there. And this time he may pay for it with his life. No, IEM dominate missing the kick there. And again, well, it's really a case of on the back foot. Oh, Alex H just flashed in there, managed to get the prison down. IEM dominate pops his ulti. Not quite enough damage. Skara's come down to help, but I really don't think it's going to be enough. And I think M5 will back away from this one quite happily. Meanwhile, back in the middle, Shyvana's going, okay, a free lane. Thanks, I'll have free farm.
Bit of a problem in that fight was that Cutie Pie was so scared of the absolute zero that he ran out for almost the entire duration of it, and there was no damage output from him. Otherwise, that could have been an easy drop on either Genja or Gozu Pepper. But I would be scared of M5's Nunu as well, to be fair. I mean, that is a scary, scary Nunu. Top tower now gonna go down to Irelia, who immediately went back. Let's have a quick look at the farm. 137 versus 104. So top lane going very, very heavily in Moscow 5's favor as well. And it looks like they were definitely not overhyped. Lee, wouldn't you say that's a rather strong team we're watching right now?
It is looking like they are actually meeting the hype. And Dignitas are really going to have to pull together when it comes to team phase. At the moment, the lane phase, it's been very close. So it's not like they've been completely dominated, but they're definitely ebbing away. And after such a great early dragon, it's just been every lane slowly being lost. There's nothing major, but again, Locust being targeted by Genja there. He's actually ignoring the AD carry, which a lot of people actually tend to go for the AD carry and ignore the support. This time, he tends to be targeting Locust, feeling he is definitely going to be the weak point. At the moment, though, IEM taking a couple of ulti hits there, and Genja definitely seems to have this bottom lane pretty much in control, which is really, you know, the fact that he's got no sustain from Nunu. He's obviously got the attack speed buff.
Shyvana,
Yeah,
are they going to spot her? There's no ward in the river anymore, but she is turning around. And yes, Skara and Dominate are there as well. They may try to go in, but a beautiful E is going to keep them at enough distance. I believe they cannot close this gap. No. Looked very scary there for a second for M5. Let me just point out that even though Graves is a little bit behind, he did build a BF sword, whereas Kog'Maw went for the early Lantern, like you said, the LoL and Lion strat, and that means less damage in teamfights. There maybe if teamfight right now, Darwin has to dodge the never move, and looks like, yeah, Dragon is back up. So Moscow 5 are defending this Dragon. They don't want Dignitas to just take it, and they may be able to actually take it even with Dignitas around. Yes, certainly, if they poke them down like this, look at Skara getting dropped across the cliff. The exact same thing happened to Wicked in a scrim the other day. M5 are really good at sniping over that cliff, and look how quickly the Dragon went down. There was no time at all. And right now, if I was in Team Dignitas, I'd be starting to feel quite a bit scared, because Moscow 5 just seem to have so much, discipline to fight together as a team. They pick a target and that target just drops instantly. Are they going for? They can't be going for.
They might be. They have got a couple of wriggles in there. No, they're not going to. But what I was going to say with the ward going down there, what I was about to say before all that happened was the fact that you mentioned Shyvana obviously taking the wards down. There was absolutely 0 wards.
Yep.
There was one in the tri-bush actually behind their tower on bottom lane. That's how worried they were of ganks now coming from Shyvana. They've got nothing at all downriver at all. And if you look at the map, there is one single ward which has just been put down on red buff. But that is not going to help at that moment, and the M5 really are in a very dominant position. The score only says it's 6-4, and it is only 1-0 in turrets, but you can see that 4K gold advantage is actually, in the team comp, seems to be the big thing at the moment. They've been very, very worried about Diamonds. He's been really popping out that jungle at the perfect times and getting those ganks. And frankly, we always talk about they are going for Baron. They are going for Baron. 20-minute Baron coming out here. Now, of course, Dignitas have got no vision of this. We just talked about the wards. Absolutely no sight whatsoever of this happening. Almost just like they took the Dragon early on in 4.5 minutes in. They have no idea that the Baron is being taken now. Just about coming up to have a look at it. And Locust, here you are too late. And he's going to get caught straight out there. Left straight on by Diamonds. That is going to be a very dead Locust. This may even be GG right here. They are pushing straight on. Mid turret is definitely going to go down. Possible inner turret already. And wow, Moscow 5 have just turned it on. Absolutely, when it counts. Bottom turret was also very low, don't forget. So they could do the typical, like TSM, take out those 3 outer turrets very, very quickly. They're going to back away from this one. They're going to buy. I think they could have pushed on a bit more there.
Well, to be fair, 2,000 gold on Kog'Maw, 1,300 on Shyvana. You kind of want to go and buy.
Yeah, so I'm loaded. Let me go buy. There we go.
And that's not a bad idea at all. He finished a seal. Still no real damage items on Kog'Maw, but with his W, the seal is enough. That W will do a percentage damage, of course, based on the max health of the enemy you're attacking. But that's quite scary right there. Dignitas, what can they do right now, Lee? What's the game plan for them? They really need to wait for that Baron to run out, and then they need to get in on a perfect team fight and somehow take Kog'Maw out of this. But the problem is Kog'Maw isn't the only damage source. That Ryze does insane amounts of damage. Irelia has a Trinity Force build already, which makes Freak very, very happy, and which also means that she does quite some damage. And the Absolute Zero, even though Nunu is not building any AP, is still a huge threat just due to the movement slow. So no one is going to be able to get to Kog'Maw.
An immediate reaction here, that's what I was just talking about. They're going to go straight up mid. They've taken that inner turret out, possibly could even push on for the inhibitor. Dignitas are going to have to respond to this, but like I mentioned, Rod of Ages has only just been completed by Swain. There is a real lack of damage there when you look at it compared to Ryze. Ryze has almost completed his build already. All he needs is a Banshee's Veil to go with that, and he's happy. At the moment, though, Dignitas really are struggling. They need to land that Kennen ulti. That's going to be a big, important part. They need to get the stuns across the entire team, but it's not really viable with the fact that what they've got on there. They can easily get on an interrupted. Alex is going to be looking for that Void Boy to come dashing in there. They might catch it. Oh, will dominate through the wall there. Yes, they will. Managing to just bounce enough off him. Alex Hitch finishes him off, and that is surely going to trigger M5 to push forward on this tower. Possible inhibitor coming right here. They're going to try and keep poking away on towards that tower, and Felix Aurelia has gone in. Void Boy's being the target this time around. Nunu actually tries to pop up Absolute Zero. Wouldn't quite manage to pull it off. Will manage to surely get Void Boy. Instead, Locust will be the kill. And there goes Grace as well. Oh, and Skara. Oh, dear me. It's gone so badly wrong. But really, that's really very well executed by Moscow 5 there. All happened from Alex just catching I Will Dominate out through that wall, just like he caught Skara a moment ago.
Across the cliff, yes.
Yeah, across the cliff, an identical play. That's going to be an inhibitor, and really, massively strong position now. 10k ahead in gold, way ahead in kills, and really it is starting to show Moscow 5 are dominating and really living up to the hype that we gave them yesterday.
Yeah, they are exactly, they look like the team to beat in this group right now. We'll still have to see them fight against AAA, but honestly, I predict that they're going to take AAA down as well. They are really, really strong, and what I like to see most about them, and I've seen this in scrims time and time again, is they catch someone over the cliff, they somehow get vision, and instantly, like one man, the entire team turns on that guy and he's just dead. There's just nothing you can do. And at this point, I mean, even if Kennen went in with his ultimate, he has a Will of the Ancients and he's starting to build a Rylai's right now, so he does not have a Sonya's that would keep him alive. He would go in, he'd get focused, and he'd be dead in no time at all.
This is the classic stage of losing map control. They're trying their best to ward out the jungle a little bit to get a view. Locust might get caught out there. Actually managed to get the stun on towards Shyvana. Don't think they have enough yet. Skara's really still not got the damage there to actually burn him down. Immediately needs to retreat. But Dignitas having to move as a pack through the jungle, trying to ward it out. Those wards immediately being taken down as well by Moscow 5. So Moscow 5 have full control And you know, when you're starting to move as a pack, as a 5,
Yeah.
desperately trying to get experience. I mean, you look at Voidboy's only level 13 at the moment compared to, say, where's Aurelia? Where are you hiding down in the middle there? Of course, you're not with the team. 15, so immediately the top lane's got 2 levels on him, bottom lane's got 2 levels on him as well, so really the level difference is starting to tell, and Moscow 5 are surely just going to push that advantage, drive it home, take this bottom turret. This is really, I think, the last big fight for Dignitas. If they're going to probably back away from this one. I'm not too sure if they're going to hold steady on this tower. They're going to get poked out. See Genja just constantly popping that ulti down from range. There he goes, pumping away.
Yeah.
He uses long range on towards those. That turret, the turret already gone. I think Dignitas are probably going to give this one up on the next wave. Is it a tank wave? It's not a tank wave, so maybe not. Maybe the next one. What the heck?
What are you doing? Oh, man.
Down. Moscow 5 there. Now they're starting to actually
Man awards.
get in cocky position, I believe. Is
A little bit, yes. Darien has a Warmox as well, so that area is just not going to fall anymore at all. The team of Moscow 5 just so very, very tanky right now. They can go in, they can probably even engage under this turret because there's just not enough damage. Graves does some damage, that's it. That's the only damage that Dignitas have at the moment. That's really scary to the enemy team. And Genja needs to be a little bit careful because if he is focused, they'll have enough damage to take him out. But the rest of the team is just going to keep everyone away from Genja or slow them or punish them for even trying to get close. And Moscow 5 is here making a statement, basically saying, you know what, the entire European server is scared of us. This is why. This is an event on our home turf, so to speak, and we want to show the world that we can completely bring this one home. And you know what? If I was a Russian viewer right now, I'd be pretty happy. I'd probably be quite proud of these guys.
Yeah, well, Moscow 5 have been at the event for the last week, as far as we know. We've been told they've been obviously boot camping, as is known as the FPS trade, and they're going to go straight in there. Shirley's referee was burned a moment ago, but that's going to be the turret going down. It doesn't matter. Voidboy's now been caught out. Oh, they've all been completely caught in the same position. I will dominate. Pop. Locust pops. Oh my word! Dignitas absolutely destroyed there, and this is going to almost certainly be the finish here. Can it be the ace? Can it be a turret?
Not quite. Not quite.
Graves just about getting away, but it doesn't matter.
Yes.
That was 4 for 0. The Nexus turrets will go down, and Moscow 5 looking very, very strong in their first game against Dignitas, the IPL champions. Obviously, they didn't, and well, I guess you could say the last stand, the American champions, I guess you say, because they just won the recent American tournament, certainly beating CLG in there. So, wow. Big turnout from Moscow 5. We wasn't too sure. It was a pretty much an out there pick, was what we kind of expected, and this is what happens. You make strange picks. People not quite aware of what happened. They were very, very worried about Shyvana. The gank in the middle nearly worked for them at the start, Dignitas, but Skara was targeted throughout there and completely taken out of it. So once Swain's gone, your main AP carry's gone.
Yes.
Voidboy couldn't really keep up with Aurelia at the top there, had to come down early on, and it just snowballed from there. But very, very well played from Moscow 5. They really have impressed me, and I guess probably I would guess a lot of viewers are living up to the hype for the first time. You know, actually turning up at an event, their very first major event, and just what pressure? You got no pressure?
Yes, the early gank would have really helped Rise, would have really helped against Rise for Swain, but Shyvana immediately turned around, put the pressure back on that mid lane. It's like, yeah, you're gonna gank my mid lane once, I'm gonna gank it twice, I'm gonna kill it twice. And the thing with the double Will of the Ancients strategy is it's only gonna be really, really powerful once you have those 2 Wills of the Ancients. And there's only gonna be the one on Cannon here, and not even started on Swain. Swain just with his Rod of Ages, so not enough damage there. Graves the only one doing any amount of damage, and Kog'Maw didn't even build a damage item until the very end. He just relied on his W, and that was enough for him as well. The entire team of Moscow 5 super tanky there. Even the Kog'Maw building an early lanterns and 3 Dorans, so he's not gonna go down in seconds either. We don't have that many kills. I mean, it's just 15 kills. It certainly felt more than that because there were these 2 almost aces in the end. But Moscow 5 just bringing it home so very, very strong. And I believe what Dignitas referred to when they said yesterday they have a strategy that will only work once, that was probably the 4.5-minute dragon. Because any other team that plays against Dignitas now is going to start checking the dragon at 4.5 minutes. Well, it did give them an early advantage, and they could have brought that early advantage home, but the second dragon fight didn't go so well for them, and just Moscow 5 took control from there. The Shyvana's so scary. Diamond procs always in jungle. Darien not on a super unique pick. I mean, with the Aurelia top, that's probably the most played top champion, but he just played her so absolutely perfectly. It's going to be probably was going to be an Atmos Impaler after the Warmox, so Trinity Force into Atmox. That's super tanky and super high damage as well. Just the entire team here on Moscow 5 looked really, really strong. And I am now twice as excited as I was before this game for the rest of the group, because can anyone take down this crazy Russian team right now?
Well, and more to the point, what do you ban against them?
Nothing. There's nothing.
I mean, Karthus was targeted at Alex. I've seen Alex playing a fantastic Karthus in the mid, but I've also seen Alex playing fantastic Gangplanks up top, so they can switch around.
Yeah.
The big thing for me was the CS difference. I mean, Scar was targeted in mid, 105 CS on Swain, 26 minutes in. Everyone knows that's not good enough, especially from a man that, 20 minutes in, got 300 CS on Karthus or something like that?
Yes.
I mean, in the recent tournament, again, the last call tournament, you know, he's going to know. He's going to be annoyed with himself. Actually, the bottom lane was pretty even, 167, 163. So, and the top lane was pretty even as well. It was really the mid lane and Shyvana. So, are they going to target Shyvana? I mean, obviously, Against All Authority will have been watching that. Cypher will be watching that and thinking, okay, what are we going to do against these guys?
The thing is, Diamond Prox is not a one champion player either. He can play a Rammus and just be exactly as annoying. His Rammus will counter jungle you possibly even harder than his Shyvana. And you know, Rammus ganks, not exactly bad either. And there's lots of other junglers where he can do pretty much the same thing. I mean, he's known for his Shyvana because literally nobody else jungles Shyvana anymore. He just does it so well. But that doesn't mean you can just outban him with a Shyvana ban. I mean, a Shyvana ban, Moscow 5 are probably going to just, you know,
just pull something else out,
chuckle at that.
We've got more strats.
Yes, exactly. Very good. I didn't want to do the cheesy Russian accent.
You know,
Thank
I'm
you.
English. I can do any cheesy accent going.
Right. So there is going to be an interview right after this in just a moment. I think we have a little bit of time still. We're just going to look a little bit more at this and let's have a look into the future.
Let's look at the group. We've seen all 4 teams play now. Against All Authority, Cypher was a very close game.
It was closer than we expected.
It was very close. It could have gone either way. Cypher pretty much had a push-in strat. They managed to take a lot of turrets down very early. And actually, I thought when they were pushing, Against All Authority was pushing mid, I thought Shaka probably should have stayed bottom, pushed maybe for the second inhibitor.
Yeah.
But instead he came back. So we kind of know what we're going to expect from Cypher. That was exactly what they did in New York. They pushed a lot of pushing strats. They were very aggressive early on. Against All Authorities, now they have a lot more stable sort of setup. It is the traditional sort of thing. Dignitas do tend to try things, and like you say, we're guessing that 4-minute dragon was probably what they tried. Did work to start on, but the ganks didn't really work for them. Now, immediately they've got a new player at an event. Is that going to put pressure on I Will Dominate? Is he going to think, oh man, I should have done this better or something? You know, how's that going to play in their heads? And Moscow 5 now, their confidence, you know, they're pretty brash as it was before. Obviously, we've seen the stuff with TSM. Are they going to be like, yeah? I guess we'll find out because we have a member of Moscow 5 walking in a moment. So I guess we'll be back in just a few moments, guys. We're going to have a member from Moscow 5. I can't see who it is because I've got a big beaming light in my face and I can't recognize him through there. I can see the admin bringing it through. So don't go there, guys. We'll be back in a second. We'll have a player from Moscow 5 to bring you all the action and really talk about those picks.
And he goes jumping in. Amazing round. Great hat-trick from Taz.
Big flashes in and cast the ultimate. Lina, 20 health left. Oh, no, super flash. The shield clutch.
Oh, a blink into all those units. The amazing defense. Champion of the Intel Extreme Masters.
And welcome back. With me here right now is Alexei from Team Moscow 5. First of all, congratulations.
Much.
That was the kind of first game that you wanted to see here, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. At least I was pretty nervous.
You were nervous?
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's pretty hard to play when CS players are sitting around you and they are rah, rah. That was pretty hard for us, but
it's an event. That's how it
goes.
Yeah.
So it was a bit that made us a bit nervous. So we thought that we won't hear each other, and it could be hard for us. But it was fine, pretty fine.
So how did you feel when that level 1 turret gang came into your lane? Did you even expect that?
No, I didn't expect that. I just knew that they won't kill me, but it was pretty unexpected. And then I didn't have flash, so I should stay pretty passive. So I gave Swain aggressive, but his aggressiveness made him to die.
Yes,
after
to Shyvana a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yes. So how does one outban you? Like, what champion do the teams have to ban so that you can't carry a game?
We won't tell this.
Yeah, the answer would have been there is none, of course. So none of these picks were too crazy this game. But let's just talk about Diamond Prox's Shyvana for a moment. Would you say that's his strongest jungle champion?
This is one of his favorite jungle champions.
On his
I will
favorite, right?
He's about not strongest, but he says that I like Shyvana. Then
fun.
I play Shyvana.
Right, so you play the game because it's fun as well. That's very
Yeah.
good. I approve of that. And the ganks were just perfect. I mean, he was constantly aggressive and in your face. What do you think at this point Skara could have done differently in mid lane? Because he was falling so far behind. Is it like a point when you're this far behind with Swain, you can't really do much anymore?
Yeah, I think Swain should if you just die one time, it will be pretty hard. I mean, versus Ryze is just GG. Because you got snare, and when you get flash, your jungler just comes, you flash, snare, GG. So it's about, the problem was he didn't have wards at mid. So when he first time backed, I got 2 wards and he got no wards. So he got really problems at mid after that.
All right, let's talk about the early dragon. What exactly went through your mind when you guys checked the dragon at I think the 6-minute mark and it was gone?
Diamond flamed a bit.
Why? Were you supposed to have a ward there already?
It's about when we... So sometimes we got no ward there, sometimes we got ward there. It's about on different strats. I mean, my team told me not to tell that.
Okay, all right. Well, Dignitas said that they have a strat that's only going to work once, and I think that was it. I think any other team is going to check the dragon now.
It was I mean, the Lee Sin wasn't shown the entire game. So we were just, where is Lee Sin, where is Lee Sin, where is Lee Sin, where is Lee Sin? And then at 6 minutes, dragon dies, oh, there is Lee Sin.
Right. So one thing that we noticed in this game twice actually is how quickly Moscow 5 can turn on someone that they catch through a wall. One time in the river, there was somebody up the cliff. I think it was Skara on his Swain, and you just caught him, I think, with one prison, and the entire team immediately focused on him and killed him. And the next time it was Voyboy across the wall at mid-inhib, where you just, I think you called him with a Q and killed him with that. Who makes the calls in Team Moscow 5? Like, who says, go for this guy now?
When I play Ryze, so I got the snare, so I do the call. I mean, it's about the heroes. So sometimes one gets stun or snare, and he should make the call because he got the position and he got the the decision. Should he stun or should he not stun? So we sometimes we make together decisions. Sometimes someone makes the decision. It's not about the one guy. It's about the team.
So it's about the champion that you play.
Yeah.
Okay, so from the mid-game on, it seemed like you guys had to get the game in hand. What was it like on the TeamSpeak? Were you like, yeah, we got this, or were you still nervous until the end?
Don't know, we just played like we play every time, so we didn't make it oh, we got the game, we didn't make it let's concentrate, we just play.
Okay, that's a very healthy way to play the game. I like that. Did you watch any of the games yesterday?
Yeah, we watched, we missed the first 2 games, I think, because we were eating, driving, we just messed with the time a bit. And then we watched the games. I was really sad about TSM versus SK Gaming because SK was outpicked totally.
Yeah, the Sion versus LeBlanc, but who sees the Sion coming?
I think it's just I mean, Reginald plays pretty much LeBlanc. So if you play much one hero, you should know who counters it.
Right, yes.
So it's about when Ocelot picked LeBlanc, I think he thought okay, we banned one champion of Reginald, another champion, and we pick LeBlanc. What will he pick? And they didn't think that it can't be the best pick when you pick it third or second like they did.
Right.
I mean, and anyway, I think if Ocelot stayed a bit more mid, I mean, he was more concentrated on mid, not on ganking, maybe he should a bit stick up with Sion on his KS and didn't get 150 KS.
320 or something.
Yeah, that was... I think Ocelot thought about it and he made some... don't know how to say it. I mean, he will do better next time.
So he made some adjustments, yeah.
Yeah.
But what do you think about, so just generally, because I know there's a little bit of history between you guys and Team Solomid. Wouldn't you agree that they look pretty scary? They completely dominated their group. I mean, Chaox's bottom lane always winning so very, very strongly, even against Candiniv. Aren't you guys a little bit scared of TSM? Not really at all.
I mean, yeah, they play good. It will be an interesting game, but we're not that afraid. I mean, we're more afraid of AAA than of TSM.
Okay, you're more afraid of Against All Authority than Team Solomid. That's certainly a statement. So you're gonna face AAA and Cypher later on in this group stage still. What's your prediction for the outcome of the group? Do you think you're gonna take first?
Yeah, I think we're gonna take first, and the AAA gonna take the second place.
Interesting, interesting. Okay, it's definitely likely. We're still gonna have to say AAA. I'm just gonna call them AAA now against Dignitas at some point. Last thing, maybe you want to give a quick shout out to the Russian fans at home in Russian, because I'm sure they're all very, very happy to see a Russian team doing this well.
Всем привет, Юля привет, чатику тоже привет, маме привет, папе привет, не знаю, там, сестре.
All right, that did sound Russian to me.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Best of luck in the rest of your group stage.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you very much.
It's exciting to watch you guys. I just hope there's going to be more exciting games like this.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. And you guys don't go anywhere. We're going to have a small break. It's going to be about 40 minutes, because once again, the games are very, very quick here. So we're going to be back for you guys in 40 minutes. I'm not even sure which game it's going to be, but it's going to be in the overlay in just a second that we're going to cut to now. So it's actually going to be, yes, Moscow 5 versus Cypher is the next game in about 40 minutes. Probably going to be, well, I'm not going to say anything, but it's going to be an interesting game anyway. Just to see, maybe you have some special tactics for them as well. We'll see. All right, so don't go anywhere. We're going to go to a 40-minute break, and then we're going to be back with Moscow 5 versus Cypher.
And he goes jumping in. Amazing round. Great hat-trick from Taz.
Big flashes in and cast the ultimate. Lina, 20 health left. Oh no, super flash. The shield clutch.
Oh, a blink into all those units. An amazing defense. Champion of the Intel Extreme Masters. Amazing round. Great hat-trick from Taz.
Big flashes in and cast the ultimate. Lina, 20 health left. Oh no, super flash. The shield clutch.
Oh, a blink into all those units. An amazing defense. Champion of the Intel Extreme.